Conveniently portable, fresh breath anywhere.
My hand almost fell over because it got stuck on your toe.
Sounds like a personal problem. In today's video, we're going to be melting down some lifesaver breath mints to see what we can do with them. Hopefully, we can cast them into coins to mint our own currency. Lifesaver breath mints. Apparently come in a very strong bag. There we go. Looking at the ingredients list here, it's not very long. You can see that they are made of sugar, corn syrup, flavoring, and stearic acid. Which is why they work so well when we put them in a cotton candy machine a while back. Sugar and corn syrup are the ingredients that work well in the cotton candy machine, and as you can tell, this is almost entirely sugar and corn syrup. That works great. That made me think, if it had to melt down to turn into cotton candy, they'd probably melt down pretty well in other ways. So I want to try taking a whole bunch of these, melting them down in a pot, and seeing how liquid they get. I'm curious if we can then pour and cast wherever they melt down into so that we can make our own hard white candies in whatever shape we want. We have a couple of molds, and we've got supplies to make our own molds as well. So I'm gonna start unwrapping a whole lot of these and then throw them on the stove. I've got just a thin layer of these mints at the bottom of our pot here. I'm gonna throw it on the stove just with these and then add a few more after these start melting, kind of like we do with Jolly Ranchers. So the mints melted down pretty well. However, as they were melting, I think they also caramelized a little bit, and so instead of the nice white color, we have this lovely golden caramel color. So I'm not entirely sure how the mints get their white coloring in the first place. I imagine it has to do with how the sugar is cooked and air is introduced to it. But they do melt down nicely, so now it's time to test if they cast nicely. So to test the casting, I've got some leaf molds. I'm just gonna fill these, see how they turn out. I know mint leaves are a thing, but we're gonna have mint leaves in the shape of oak, maple, and aspen. Can make a Yoda while I'm at it.
What? All right, let's see. All right.
Tastes like mint.
It's so strong. Absolutely tastes like mint, but also caramel.
Really? It has a caramel flavor?
Mm-hmm. Tiny, tiny bit. I did just take like a quarter-sized chunk.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Mm-hmm. It's not bad. That's very odd.
Melting them down worked pretty well. They did caramelize, so they're not white anymore. That's different. But they do have this nice honey golden caramel color. And I think that will work well for the other idea I had, which was to make my own mold. And what I want to do is I want to sculpt a King of Random style coin, make a mold of it using this 2-part putty mold, and then see if we can cast that. When you make your own money, that's called minting coins. And so I think it's funny because we can mint coins with mint.
I get it.
Yeah, it's funny. So I'm going to sculpt a King of Random type coin. And hopefully I'll be able to get detail on both sides of it without like smushing it, but we'll see, we'll try it.
So I brought some sculpting tools from home. Quite a few of these are actually for stone carving as well. But then I brought these. This is how I used to do detail work at the studio that I used to sculpt at. Guys, having a dentist for a dad is wonderful if you're into sculpting because you get all the old broken tools.
Okay, I think my coin is complete. I've got a mint leaf on one side and the TKOR logo on the other side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a 2-part mold. I'm gonna start by just making a mold of this side, After that's whole cured, I'm gonna flip it over and make the mold of the other side. I'm gonna spray this with a layer of this clear so that when I make the other side of the silicone mold and press it on, it doesn't stick to this side. I'm gonna point out that this is probably the sloppiest and laziest way to make a mold of something that I know.
So, because these are so sloppy, guys, this is the worst thing I've ever made. It's just a little Mario coin. This stuff is neat.
Okay. Huh. It's a nice leaf. We do have some bubbles, which is to be expected because we're pouring sugar onto silicone molds, and as we've discovered a zillion times, you get bubbles.
But they look so pretty.
They do look very pretty.
I really want to eat those.
You
Here's the thing. We do a lot of stuff in the studios with chemicals, and I usually think, I want to eat that. You see the problem here. This time I can.
Got a really nice finish on them.
They really do.
Got them bubbles.
Much shinier than I would have expected. I really like that.
So there's our slightly bubbly-faced Yoda.
Nate made a very lazy mold by taking one half, letting it kick, and then putting the other half on, separating it with clear coat. I'm gonna go even lazier. I'm just gonna wrap it in the silicone, and then I'm gonna cut the clay out because I don't need the clay to last after this. So I'm just gonna make a big ball here.
I'm gonna wash this off and then try and pour some candy into it.
So you'll notice right here, this little pour spout that I've given it wasn't really attached all that well, so it isn't fully cleared out. So I'm going to carve that out so we can actually pour. And by carve, I mean this silicone is so soft that I'm just able to sort of break it out of there. As we said, this is the laziest, quickest way we possibly could have made a couple of molds today, but it worked. It's all we needed.
I've got my ring pop as well. I'm gonna see if it will just come up out of the mold. I think it will. Oh, there we go.
All right.
That's not the cleanest mold.
None of these are the cleanest molds.
Just look inside that. You can see
Wow.
big old cavities.
That's okay. I was worried about my coin. I'm not worried about my coin anymore.
I'm not entirely sure what went on here, because like I have the nice geometric edge, but it's like offset. Maybe I squished it around, and then when I squished on the other side, it like pushed it or something like that.
The oddest case of flashing I've ever seen.
That's all right. All right.
Excited to see what these look like. Yes!
Yes!
This is so bent and floppy because when I was trying to squish the silicone around the clay, it was bending because it's very thin in the middle there. But I did it. I have a little Mario coin.
Some detail definitely was lost. You can see like the letter K and O here are just, they had some bubbles.
That's not bad though.
And the whole thing is a little wibbly wobbly because this was very thin mold and it was being held together by two spray paint can lids. But we got a result. It looks kind of like a coin.
You can melt and mold lifesavers.
We have successfully minted our own currency.
What the heck? We minted coins.
Guys, that's it for today, but you know, we've always got more for you to see. Click that box up at the top to check out our most recent video, and we'll see you in the next one. Talk to you then.